What's up, Cloud Gamers? Welcome to another episode of CGX Cast. This is episode 63. And man, there's a lot to discuss. And as you guys can see, we have a pretty full panel. So I think that these conversations going on is going to be quite exciting and interesting. So to get started, we're going to do different things. We're going to start off with Xbox Cloud Gaming today. Again, they had a lot to talk about this week with Forza Horizon releasing. Skryim Next Gen came to the cloud. Good stuff if you guys are into Skryim. We had GTA San Andreas too. And of course, this week is Microsoft, I think, 20th anniversary. So we're going to kind of speculate as to what possibly might come from that, right? So it's Xbox Cloud Gaming. And then we have Google Stadia. They gave us their bi-weekly. What do you guys call it in UK? Again, there's a name for it. It's not bi-weekly.
Fortnightly.
There we go. There we go. How can I forget? Just
At Eddie's face.
So they give us the fortnightly Google Tuesday update, even though it didn't come on Tuesday. But we'll talk more about that. We got an exclusive game for the platform, which some people seem to be excited about. So I see, I don't know what Doug is doing there, but people seem to be excited about it. So again, we'll talk about that. And again, someone else is celebrating another anniversary this week. Google Stadia is the second year. So in a way, we'll kind of speculate as to what we might see this week from Google Stadia, right? Geforce Now. In the hot seat again, man. Well, you guys heard about the frame capping, such a big thing as to where even The Verge did a whole entire article about it. So we'll talk about that. Also, they give us some games every Thursday, GFN Thursday. So we got some games, some good stuff on that list. So we'll discuss that too. Shadow is another one we'll be talking about. This old tech, for some reason, seems to be handling all these new release games pretty well. So we'll talk about Shadow, and there's some stuff going on in the Shadow space too that I do want to just speculate, get y'all's take on what's going on with that platform. So again, I told you guys a lot. But we have a special guest this week. He's, again, part family now. This is not his first rodeo here at CGX Cast, but Eddie Play One, sir. Welcome again to the panel. How are you?
Hey, man. Thanks for having me again, Ace. Thanks for the invite. I'm happy to be here. Happy to see everybody that's here. And doing all right. Kid is right there playing on his iPad. He's quiet, so it's good.
Hey, what's up? Good to have you in this stream, kiddo. Good to have you here as well. But yeah, so let's introduce the panel, see what members are playing, and then we'll check in with the chat and see how you guys are doing. So to get started, Duncan, how are you doing today, sir? What have you been playing? What platform?
I've been playing a load of different ones. I'm a bit under a bit of cold or something coming on here, so I'm going to be a bit funny here. People are going to struggle to even understand me even more than every week anyway. But I've been just on playing some GFN. I've played some Forza in the Cloud. We'll come on to that, obviously.
Okay.
And I'm just literally off playing some Tomb Raider there on GFN. Just for a bit of crack, just to interrupt my guilty pleasure game, which I'm trying to get all the achievements in, which we're not going to talk about.
Which Tomb Raider are you playing?
Shadow.
Okay.
Just giving that a bit of another reblast in GFN, just to see what the differences and stuff like. I still haven't got the new funky tier. I'm just getting the teasing message. If you're playing on the Shield, please upgrade to get HDR, and we don't have it yet.
Should be coming pretty soon for you guys. So yeah, hold on. But good to have you on here, Duncan. How about you, Ben? What you been up to? What have you been playing and what platform?
What have I been playing? Well, I got access to my GFN 3080 this week, so I've been bouncing around a lot of different games, just testing it out, finally getting to play with it. I did quite a bit of Forza also, because why not? That game is just beautiful.
Yeah. So tell me about GFN 3080. How has the experience been so far with it?
I mean, at first it was weird because I'd been trying to get my bitrate higher, get everything working better previously. So I had forced my settings to 1080 60.
Okay.
So when I got upgraded, it was still forced at 1080 60. And it took me like an hour or so trying to figure it out. And I finally figured out how to change it.
Yeah.
Get it adjusted to the maximum.
Okay.
After that, everything looked way better. A new world is actually playable for me now.
Good.
Before that, even if I was on the 3060, for some reason it was glitchy. But yeah, no, it's working well.
Good to see you on here, Ben. Yeah, we'll get to GFN and Forza, so can't wait to get your input on those. GTP, sir, how are you? What have you been playing? What platforms? Good to see you this week, man. Good to see you
man,
this
it's so
week.
good to be back. I missed last week, so I'm feeling at home. And as far as gaming, it's just been Forza. I mean, that's pretty much it. Although Friday night, Battlefield 2042, so I've been getting into that as well. And Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, I've been messing around with that a little bit, an old school favorite. So I've been playing that on xCloud mostly. I also grabbed it up on the Switch.
Wow, that's cool to see people, going back and giving San Andreas some love. But how has the experience been with Forza? I know we'll get more into it, but just a brief, how's that been for you?
It's been really good. I've played it on almost everything you can, from the 1S to the 1X, the Series X, Series S, PC, and in the cloud. And it's been great everywhere. I do have some issues with it in xCloud, nothing major. We'll come on to that more. But no, it's a well-optimized game that's running really great everywhere. I mean, I didn't expect the RTX 2060 to run the brand new Forza Horizon 5 the way it does. I can't quite go extreme without a little bit of issue, but one under at ultra, and I can maintain over 60 FPS at 1440p with that card, and it looks amazing. So they've done a heck of a job with it.
Wow. The game is stunning and is very well optimized.
I've never used photo mode in a game more than I have, because I'm not even a photo mode guy, but every time I'm playing Forza, I'm taking photos. I've even started making my own desktop and everything. Yeah.
The one behind me right now, that's one I took.
Is that your car? That's an actual photo?
It's not what it looks like anymore, but it did look like that. Right now it looks like
while you do that, just curious, did anyone I like that color. That's dope. But did anyone get a fast car from the start? Okay, so that's something that I thought I got some cheat code unlock, right? So everyone got that fast car?
I'm using the Beamer. What's everybody else using?
You're talking about the Corvette.
Is it a Corvette?
We were talking
the
about
orange one.
Yeah.
Well, it's not fast. Wait till you get a Lamborghini.
Dude, a McLaren.
I'm hitting 200 miles per hour. What do you mean, man? How much faster can you go?
Oh, you can go faster than that.
Oh, you can go faster, yeah.
Excuse me?
I saw a video of somebody going 268 miles per hour.
My goodness. I have a hard time controlling that 200. I can't even imagine faster than that. That's crazy. But Duncan, you were saying last week that game does a good job giving you a sense of speed, man. It's insane how fast you go.
That was one of the big step ups from Forza 4 to Forza 5. The sense of speed is just unreal when you're actually going through there. And when we're going to that, I think the accessibility that they've put into that game is absolutely fabulous. If you haven't seen some of the videos and that, go check that out. They can slow it down. You could be doing 200 miles an hour, and it actually gets slowed down so people can adjust depending on if their needs require that. It is absolutely fabulous what they've done with the accessibility in the game.
Yeah, man. Good stuff overall. GTP, good to have you, man. Welcome back again. How about you, Gamer TV, man? Good to see you too, my dude. How you been? What you been playing? What platform?
Yeah, man, I've been good. Playing a lot of Forza, like everyone else.
Yeah.
Bit of Wave Tail, right? Haven't heard that mentioned yet. So
Oh,
had to jump into that, check it out.
oh,
Give them their props when they do something right.
right.
And what else? Checked out Grand Theft and turned it off pretty quickly. I'm not that big into nostalgia, right?
Yeah.
It's like, hey man, it's cool, but god dang it, I just can't. And I have to say this, I've been laughing on the inside, Duncan. I'm just waiting for you to tell Ethan to not come rescue you, right? That you have the Resident Evil 7 look going on all
You
day
do.
right now.
You do. You do. Good stuff, gamers. Good to have you. Good to have you on here
It's nice
again,
to be
man.
here.
For sure, for sure. Monkey, Eddie, we saving the best for last, man. Monkey, how are you, sir? What have you been playing? What platform?
I'm tired. No, Bright Memory Infinite, fantastic game. So the one man developer from the first one has got these resources behind him now, and he's just made an even better second installment. It's a difficult game.
Is it?
Even on like the medium settings, but you can push it higher. You can unlock hell mode as well. So for the hardened gamers, there's something there for everyone. I just had such a ball with that on Friday, yesterday.
Yeah.
One day this week. So just give that a wee mention. Wavetail as well, as Gamer says. Beautiful little game. Very warm game. Very easy to play. Easy to pick up. And the mechanics are very good as well in the game. The art styles is just lovely. Really good. Forza as well. I don't know what Phil Spencer's done, but he's flipped a switch and xCloud's performing now, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Yeah, so the latency and everything's back on point, and I can actually, get there with it. But
Speaking of latency,
talking about latency, then he drops connection.
Oh man!
While we're waiting for him to come back, Jerry, I'm going to show off the card that Joe designed on Forza, just so people can see. So this isn't mine. This is Jojo Narok's. Where'd it go?
So, Monkey, lesson learned, man. Don't talk about Phil Spencer like that, bro. Like he'll boot you if you're using Windows, man.
Dude, I don't know if I'm back or not. My Chrome browser's froze.
Oh, I see it frozen.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah,
okay, I'll just be quiet from now.
Can
you see me?
You're looking fabulous.
You're frozen. You might as well just take your camera off, but we can hear you.
Fucking hell. Back soon.
You're good. All right. So, Ben, what were you saying? What were you saying about the car? Ooh, is that it right there?
No, that's not it. I'm trying to find it. Hold on.
All right. Yeah. In the meantime, let's check in with Eddie while all that goes. Eddie, how are you, sir? What have you been playing?
Good.
What platform?
So, Forza on Series S. I'm still playing Guardians of the Galaxy on Geforce Now.
GFN, yeah.
What else? And Battlefield. Yeah, I tried to play Battlefield on PC today. I had a small issue, like a launcher issue or something, and then I couldn't play it on PC, but I was playing on the Series S.
Nice.
So
nice.
There's too many games to. Man, there's too many games. It's just that I don't even have that much time to play other stuff, but because there's too many games, I don't even know. Like, then answer your question, Ace. I got a McLaren Senna 2018, like a legendary car, which I don't know what I did to get that car.
Yeah.
As well.
I know.
What did?
Go ahead, Monkey.
What did he do?
You get that if you had Forza 4. I don't know if anyone noticed, but all your settings carried over from when I first started Forza 5, it was like, "Hello, Scott." I'm like, "Fucking hell, I've not even typed my name in yet. How does this know?"
Yeah.
And then I looked up, and it just throws
Oh.
everything over from your original Forza 4 profile.
That okay, makes sense. Eddie, that's the car I got too. I thought it was I'm not a cars person, so forgive me. I thought it was a Corvette, but
If you allow me,
Definitely.
Ace, to share a screen here, I just
Yeah,
put it on
yeah.
xCloud for a second.
Yep. Let's get it in here.
So this is the Corvette that you guys were talking about. Orange Corvette that everybody gets to start. Everybody get the Ford Bronco, and then I think you get this one. I bought this Jurassic Park, which is pretty fun.
Yeah.
And this is the one that I don't know.
Yep. That's the one I got too. It
And
says legendary.
I have to say, you're looking very good for being nearly a 90-year-old.
Oh man, but how is that car? Right? It's pretty dope, right?
Yeah, no, the that one, it's pretty awesome. I don't know exactly. Monkey's saying from Forza 4, but I played Forza 4 on the xCloud, no, on Game Pass as well.
Yeah.
But I really don't know. I played like maybe 5 minutes of Forza 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still get it. As long as you set up a profile and everything.
Okay.
So there you go. That's awesome. I got it too, and I was like smoking people, man. It was great to start off with a legendary car like that, man. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Hey, there's something that happened during this weekend which is not on your topics to talk, but it is.
Yeah. What is it?
It's about Xbox. What happened to Xbox Twitter?
What happened?
Yeah, I think I know what happened at Stain. That's the person who runs it. I think he changed Xbox's age and it reset things. That was what people are doing. So he was messing about with settings and whoopsies, Xbox account got sort of wiped.
It
Duncan,
forced
can you
unfollowed
please
a ton
repeat
of
in
people.
English?
It made a bunch of people, like it forced them to
Yeah.
unfollow, so people had to go back in and follow again.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was a whoopsie. It wasn't anything malicious. It wasn't a media stunt. It was a complete another whoops.
Yeah, it was an accident.
That sucks.
Yeah, because at one time I opened Xbox like twitter.com/Xbox, and this account doesn't exist. So I wasn't
crazy.
sure if it was like hacked, deleted, or something, but looks like they lost all the followers. Yeah.
Oof. That sucks.
I will rephrase it slightly. And they were going in messing about with their date of birth by the sounds of things, and they locked out their account and reset things.
Why did they need to mess around with it? Did they, when they set it up,
Because
did
they're
they
gonna be
not?
25 years, and they wanna.
Yeah,
It's
no,
only 20. It's only 20.
yeah. So I think that is what the general thing is. They were messing about with the date of birth, and they accidentally.
And that cleared their full Twitter. I'm calling bullshit, man. That's a lot of nonsense. It would just tell you not to do it. Or you can't change this.
Yeah, they were just trying to be too clever. It wasn't the marketing thing. It was a whoops.
All right, we'll get more to Xbox and all that fun jazz. But yeah, Eddie, thanks for that, man. Had no idea what was going on with the Twitter. But yeah, hopefully people who are watching, if you guys were concerned, hopefully now you know what's going on with that. But,
apparently, it's back to normal because when I checked it was 30K followers, and now it's back to almost 17 million.
Damn.
Yeah.
So they probably, hey, Twitter, please go back whatever I did.
Yeah. Knowing the big tech companies, man, they probably were so quick to fixing the issue. Imagine if you lost, followers and
It's
It's a lot of followers to lose overnight.
Yeah.
They put a tweet said, we turn it off and on again.
Yeah. It's crazy. But man, I've been playing some Forza Horizon 6 for 6.5 for sure. The game is incredible. I'm not into like racers, but there's just something about the open world of this game that I feel like even if you don't like racers, it's still enticing. But man, the graphics, especially for cloud, we'll get into that more in a bit, but the game looks gorgeous on xCloud. And performance wise, you know, it runs really well, which gives me a lot of hope for Halo Infinite coming to the platform. But again, we'll get into all of that. Bright Memory Infinite is another game that I've been playing, and my goodness, how did I miss that game the first time? The game is absolutely incredible. I'm playing on easy, don't make fun of me, but man, I'm killing it, man. So when Monkey's like, this game is hard, I'm like, are you kidding me? You know, like I'm just running through it, man. Easy. But the game's a lot of fun.
Ace, that's something I don't criticize anymore, playing games on easy. I know that there's play hards, but my case as well, I don't have time to prove myself that I am an awesome gamer, so I just play on easy because there's so many games to play.
Yeah, and I feel like with that game, it's so fast paced. So like, you know, you want that, I don't know, you want the flow to keep going, the momentum. So it works well for me. I'm loving it.
I used to play pretty much everything on normal. And then once I started streaming, I switched to like story mode or easy mode because you can't interact with the chat and you can't do stuff if you're on normal or higher. It's just it's tough.
And you want to look good in stream, right?
Not so much. It's just I don't want to be so distracted by the game that I can't interact with people watching.
That's true. Man, remember that time I streamed FIFA, man? I got spanked 9-1. It was so embarrassing, man. Anywho, all right, so let's take a sec to say what's up to the viewers. A lot of you guys are on here. Appreciate you guys being on. But yeah, wow. Holy smokes. All right, we're going up. So Shill, what's up? Good to see you. Calm, I hope I'm saying it right. Good to see you in here. Maker of Chaos, my dude, good to see you. Sherman Gaming, good to see you. Monkey, I see you. Duncan, I see you. Who else we got here? Eddie Play One, see you. Let's see. Polaris, thanks for the super shot. And again, this is something I'm terrible at. So members, remind me if any of this comes through. But thank you for that, Polaris. Appreciate it. Porter, good to see you, my dude. Going down the list here. Mister, I don't know if I said what's up to you, but good to see you as well. Happy Cloud Gamer, good to see you. Let's see. Case Ball, good to see you as well. Man, a lot of you guys are on here. Appreciate it. Anki, I hope I'm not butchering that. Good to see you, Lars. Good to see you. Holds. Good to see you, my dude. All right. Cool. Cloud Validation. Good to see you. Yonto 3000. Good to see you, Van. Good to see you. All right, let's kick it off, man. Thank you guys again for being here. And we'll try to pull you guys into the conversation. So check those polls out too. It's helpful. We like to look at it, so it's entertaining. But let's kick this off. Again, we're starting with xCloud this week, mixing it up. Normally we start with Luna. But let's start with Skyrim, right? This game, it's an old game. They're celebrating their 10 years. They updated the graphics for next-gen consoles, and surprisingly, the update came to the cloud. People didn't seem too excited about this in our videos in the comments, and also I was on Reddit checking it out, and people like, who the hell still plays Skyrim, right? And man, I was just like, I thought this was like an iconic franchise. But just want to know for you guys, what are your thoughts about Skyrim getting a next-gen update? Have you guys tested it out? Are you guys noticing like significant improvement with just frame rates and graphics? Are you guys like, not that interested with this update? So to get started, Duncan, what's your take on Skyrim getting next-gen upgrade for xCloud?
If anybody says GTA's milk, we can say Skyrim is definitely milked as well. Excuse me. I haven't had a chance to play that. All the other games have been going play me, but it is pretty decent that that's getting upgraded again. Excuse me.
You're good. Take your time.
Yeah, sorry. I told you I'm thinking coming down with a bit of a cold or something. Uh, what I would actually maybe go for, let's bring this up anyway because the 20th anniversary is coming up. There's been a lot of back compact games have been updated now as well. So they might be going into the cloud. So that's something to keep an eye on. So I don't know what has just went over my voice now. It's all fun.
It's all good.
Weren't you watching rugby earlier?
Cheering for you, team.
That's probably what did it.
But no, thanks for your input. How about you, Ben? What's your take on? You know what? All right. I don't know if we should just tackle. Let's do that, right? Let's tackle xCloud all together with game releases. Again, we had this update with Skyrim. We had GTA and Forza Horizon 5. So let's just tackle all those games for the week. What are your thoughts on those games releasing the platform for the week? Oh, Ben. Oh,
Sorry, my
you're
daughter
good.
was talking
You're
to me.
good.
What was that again?
I was just saying, what's your take on GTA San Andreas, Forza Horizon 5, and Skyrim updates releasing on xCloud this week?
I mean, I never played those games to begin with, so for me, it's just it didn't really. I mean, I can understand people that would have been fans for those games when they were relevant. Like, sure, that's exciting, but for me, like, because I took like that 16 years off from gaming, like it doesn't really draw me back in to go back in because I don't have the nostalgia that I'm missing out on or reliving like a lot of other people do.
Okay, fair enough.
Sorry, Ben, did you not play GTA?
Not really. No, I took like 16 years off from gaming.
Okay, but you didn't play San Andreas before?
No.
Okay. That's a classic.
I know. Well, I had friends in Brazil that would play it. Well, they played the not San Andreas. The last one I played was GTA 3, I think.
Okay. It's just because there's so much references on pop culture that you probably need to play that one.
Yeah.
Get to know CJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. So let's check in with you, Eddie. What's your take on Skyrim Next Gen releasing Forza Horizon 5 and GTA San Andreas releasing for xCloud this week?
All right. Skyrring, I don't think it make much of a difference on xCloud because the game is 10 years old. It survives on the PC community because of all the mods.
Yeah.
So doesn't make it much sense on cloud right now. It's there to play the history again, but the game just survives because of the mods. The rest of the releases, for Forza, I don't think there's anything else to say other than everybody already said. The game is gorgeous and fantastic. And GTA, I installed it on the Series S to get that nostalgia of shit, here we go again. CJ is a. It was part of. I used to play a lot of San Andreas when I was back in college. My first gaming PC.
Yeah.
And I used to play a lot of San Andreas back then.
Nice.
So I was looking to get on that nostalgia, but just because there are a lot of games, I didn't got it yet. Like I know other games that came to xCloud, which not made here the list, but It Takes Two. I know it's a hell of a release from this year, and it just got into xCloud this week as well, and it's on my list to give it a try.
Yeah.
Well, it got added to Game Pass in general because it wasn't on Game Pass before. It was just
right.
Yeah.
Also, Football Manager 2020, 2022. It's a big game in the UK, probably not in the States, but that game released in xCloud too this week. So, I mean, yeah, all right. So let's check in with you, GTP. What's your take on the releases for xCloud this week?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, the Skyrim thing, like everybody's saying, there's not really much hype with that. I've always support anything they'll do with backwards compat or upgrading games, though, just because I am a nostalgia person and every year that I get older, I tend to look back at games, even if I don't go back and spend the amount of hours or beat them like I used to. I might dip a toe for an hour or two or three, and it just kind of takes you back to another place and another time. So I like that, even though it's not going to be like Eddie said. That game's got its community on PC with mods and stuff. If you see anybody playing it, that's how they're streaming or playing. San Andreas was a special Grand Theft Auto. It was really, really good, and that's why I've kind of jumped back in. And out of the trilogy, that's probably the only one I'm actually going to play through and do that on my time. It was just so good, and even though it's not anything special, it still looks dated as hell, right? It's got its problems at launch, but it's still like as I'm playing, and I'm about 3 hours in, it still just is bringing back a lot of that feeling with San Andreas. It's having a lot of fun. Forza Horizon 5 we already know is fantastic everywhere. I have had some... Whoa. I have had some...
How was that?
I'm sorry. I wasn't sure if that was working or not. That was me. My bad.
My God. I've had some quality and video issues, kind of like how Hellmonkey talks about. Some pixelation and issues I wish weren't there on the xCloud version for me. But no real bad issues now after launch with stutter or latency or anything. I mean, it feels almost local. It's on point. It's running really well. I just want to see Microsoft take that next little leap in video quality. I don't even care about 4K yet, but I need to see the 1080p stream get cleaner. If you go to something like GFN, even their priority tier, their 1080p stream is so freaking clean.
True.
That's what I want to see next from Xbox before I even see the 4K. I just want to see a cleaner 1080p. But other than that, it's been great. It's been fantastic.
Yeah. So what would you say, like looking at Forza Horizon in the cloud? I thought that was a clean 1080. Would you say it didn't look that clean to you?
No. I mean, if I'm on
Really?
a smaller screen, right, I have a much more trouble seeing the square blocks, right? That's the pixelation,
Right,
the blockiness
right.
that you don't want to see. I don't want to see any blocks. And with GFN 1080, I can take snapshots, I can zoom in, I can do whatever I want. You will be hard pressed to ever find the little square blocky pixelation stuff going on. That's really what I want to see, especially if you go play the Master Chief Collection or Forza 4 or 5, the faster you're moving, they've adjusted things, and that's how it goes, and you get more of that. I just want that to go away, and I know they're capable of doing it. I know we'll get there. But if I'm on like my bigger screens or even my laptop at 1080, I just see it, I can see it. It doesn't bother me. It's not game breaking. It's I think it was Ben that was telling me like it doesn't have to be that quality yet. It just has to be good enough right now. It has to be playable. It has to work well. The experience has to be there. Latency needs to be on point, which it is. I just want to see a cleaner stream.
Right.
I think I said that on Dusty's podcast where I said, Xbox has a huge opportunity because they don't need to be the best. That doesn't matter to them. They need to be good enough that their massive amount of Game Pass subscribers can jump in and play and not really care that they're on the cloud. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Interesting. GTP, let me ask, has there been any game that on xCloud that the 1080p looked good enough for you?
Yeah, there's cleaner games. I've had on there Gears 5.
Gears 5 is
probably
pretty
because
fun.
it's such slow, it's not as, even though you're shooting stuff, it's a slower motion game.
Right.
There are many times in that game that is much cleaner. It's really obvious that with fast paced games, they're really trying to bring down bitrate to keep latency good. And I'm assuming since they've upgraded all the blades to Series X and that they're now building new data centers and working on the infrastructure part, the ability to stream better, that we'll get there. I don't think that was the first priority. They wanted to get hardware in place. So I think that's what they'll be working on next. But that's if I play Luna, Stadia, GFN, and xCloud, while xCloud will often have the content I want and have better latency for a lot of the games, the stream often just isn't as clean. And I didn't used to care as much, but I'm getting really spoiled now. I've been playing the RTX 3080 a lot with GFN. I've been playing other things with that, and even a lot of the 1080p stuff. It's really getting clean everywhere. So, and that's a small gripe. xCloud's really doing well. I mean, shoot, even back to May, xCloud was like still unplayable for me to the point of like me and Monkey would sit here like, yeah, 30 FPS SnowRunner on a 1S. is horrible, right? And we've come a long way from that in the past 6 months. So I'm really excited to see where things go. And if my only complaint right now is some blockiness in the stream, we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, true. Thanks for your input, for sure. Gaming TV, let's get to you, man. What are your thoughts about the xCloud or Xbox Cloud gaming game releases, and Andreas Forza Horizon 5, Skryim Next Gen update, Football Manager 2022? Just keep going
going.
with it.
Yeah, man. I think so. The two older games, right? Skyrim and GTA, great. Nostalgia. That's cool. But I'm trying to keep the needle moving with what's next. Forza, love it. Like I said, I tried the other two, but man, I turned them off like within 10 minutes. I think it's because it was only for the experience. It was only for, oh wow, this is cool. It's in the cloud. Let me see how it feels, how it plays. Okay, great. I'm not gonna play through this again. But yeah, they're good wins, right? If those two games were anywhere else, we'd say, wow, that's really good.
Right.
I.e. Stadia, Luna. If they picked them up, we'd probably say, oh, great. But for xCloud, it's kind of like, okay, cool. Let's keep it coming.
Right.
Regarding like the stream quality with Forza and all of that, yeah, I think it's good. For me, it's good. It's super clean for me. But it can be better, 100%. And with everyone not everyone, well, with Geforce Now setting new standards and raising the bars and whatnot, you gotta keep coming with it. We said something about how the tech, it'd be hard to catch the tech. Some people would say it's harder to catch the tech. It's like no. It's quite easy to catch the tech. It's harder to catch the gaming catalog, right? So that's where I think xCloud is doing a really good job. It's going to be hard to catch their catalog. Same with GFN. But as far as tech, at some point, everyone is going to have a clean, beautiful cloud gaming stream and experience. So we're gonna be talking a hell of a lot less about how the stream looks and all of that, and stick to the games, like what's there, what can we play. So in that respect, xCloud, I think they won again from my perspective.
True. And you make a good point with like the tech catching up. The catalog of games is really significant because, again, if you last year, right, Stadia, is that me? That's me. The cops are coming for me. Apologize.
GTA, man.
But
How monkey? Stop playing GTA.
Yeah,
you can hear it in the background.
But last year, I mean, Stadia was crowned.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Is that me? Oh, I was like, what? But Eddie, your stuff is freaking me out, man. I'm like, what? No, anyway. But no, last year we can sit here and say, Google Stadia was like performance king. But again, look where we are now, right? You have GFN picking things up. You have xCloud making some moves. But yeah, a catalog of games is important. It's going to be pretty interesting to see performance-wise, though, like the upgrades come in, right? Hopefully Stadia can, better themselves in performance and give us Gen 2. And Amazon Luna, again, they've been promising 4K. When are we going to see that? But yeah, I think you're right on with that for sure. Thanks for that, gamer. But Hell Monkey Man, let's get to you. What are your thoughts? So you played the Football Manager 2022. Tell me about the experience. Also, I know you big on racers. So Forza Horizon 5, how was that for you? And GTA as well. Has Microsoft been good to you in Scotland this week, my dude?
Yeah, a lot better than that camera's been tonight. No, it's playable again the last couple of weeks. Sort of got better. Forza, I don't want to go in too much because everyone else already spoke about it. I love the feel of the driving and the feedback you get from using the PC app on the controller, which you don't get on browser, by the way. So if possible and you're enjoying Forza and you can get it on through the Xbox PC app, go and do that. With the feedback through the controller, it just takes it to another level. Really good. The driving mechanics are really solid. There's actually, I'm a bit overwhelmed with the amount of bloody icons on the map, though. Like,
Wait, Forza.
yeah, you
Right?
get an
Yeah.
accolade and it says
It's
open
turned
this
to
up, and I'm like, oh yeah,
yeah.
open, oh yeah, open, and now like the map is just ding, 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 and
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what to do
It's
now.
turned
Like, there's
into
actually too much.
Ubisoft, man. Yeah.
Yeah, like yeah,
Turn them
basically.
off.
Turn you off.
You just turn them. You turn most of them off. You just select the
It's
ones.
a lot of
Wait, you
faffing
can
about though.
you can turn it off?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can filter them down. Yeah, so you can
Oh,
show what you don't
I
want to
didn't
do.
know
But
that.
that's just too much hard work, man. I just want to drive around. So yeah, Forza's great. Really like it. Brilliant. Football Manager 2022. If you don't have access to it on PC, it's okay on xCloud. I mean, it's not challenging the server blades because it's not a very demanding game. So it's not what is challenging is navigating the game with a controller. You guys in here won't remember probably, maybe Duncan will actually, LMA Manager from back in the day, which was on PlayStation and Xbox consoles. Really simple, really easy to use. But now Football Manager is just on a different planet. So having to get it to run with a controller, fair play to them for doing it. It's possible, but it is an absolute pain in the backside. So just bring mouse and keyboard xCloud, Xbox. Like, the funny thing is, and I think I said it in the video, you have to type your name in via and use the mouse and keyboard, but I can't use it in the game. Like, come on, you're ripping the piss, you know? It's just like...
So I think that's them just testing this out here. I think that's their baby steps, because that I think that's only been put in the last wee while, hasn't it? Being able to type.
Yeah, because I couldn't play Outer Worlds because I couldn't get past the initial screen of typing your character name in. Like, you couldn't do it, so the game was just a bust. Any game like that was just a bust. No, listen, it's great. Football Manager is great. If you haven't played it before, it's going to walk you through everything. It's going to walk you through how to navigate as well. So yeah, listen, try it. I even used a soccer team just for transparency. Used the New Yorks. It's decent, and I'm just rambling now because I'm extremely tired. So the rest of the games are rubbish. Skyrim's way old, GTA's way old, and actually, can I just say, a big middle finger to Rockstar that took down the mods that the PC community made, basically because they modded it better for free than this update has been, because it's an absolute shambles. It's just an old game that they've done nothing to. So a big F you to Rockstar. I hate Rockstar. Sorry guys, crack on.
Okay. But yeah, these games are a good get, I would say, overall, especially like Forza Horizon 5. Man, again, just being exclusive to the cloud for me personally, when I turned that game on, again, this is me coming from a GFN 3080. And I talked about this in the last podcast. I hope like every game comes to GFN 3080 because it's just that good performance-wise. And so I was like, shoot, right? I can't go back to playing 1080p. How's Forza Horizon going to run? Booted it up, and I was like, holy crap, this game looks good. This game runs well. And so to me personally, I was like, that's good, right? This is a sign that Halo Infinite might run okay on this platform too. But yeah, like GTP was saying though, it can be cleaner. And again, I'm all about the next tech with cloud gaming, and I would love to see 1440p or 4K come to this place, especially like with a big game like Halo coming out pretty soon, man. They gotta make this happen. They're running out of time. And bring that 4K dongle, man. My TV's just begging for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's progress in tech xCloud. You can do it, man. People are pushing. I would love to see them make that push too.
Do you see Microsoft making that push in the next 2 years?
I see them making it this year.
I see them making it very, very soon, as in possibly as early as next week.
Yeah.
Like maybe not the dongle part, but the 4K part and some other stuff.
So you guys see Microsoft pushing streaming or xCloud in the next 12 months to 4K?
I see it happen in December of this year, man.
They can hardly do a clean 1080. What the hell's the point in stressing out your infrastructure at 4K? It doesn't make any sense.
But here's the thing: the way cloud works, and we've seen it with GFM. We've seen it when they flip the switch, right? They're working on things right now in the background. We're not seeing it, but they are, right? I think
We're not. That's it. We're not seeing it because the 1080, even Gamer, Gamer's had the most exceptional experience, I think, out of all of us. But he still sees the issues, and the stream isn't as clean as it could be compared to other platforms. So,
but don't forget, earlier this year, dude, all we had was 720p, and just overnight we got 1080p, right? So,
and it was a mess.
But that was something they were promising, right?
Yeah,
that was something they were promising, like the upgrades to the Series X blades.
Right.
They also mentioned 4K before the end of the year multiple times.
They did say that multiple times.
Yeah, it's going to be 4K. It's going to be like a Stadia 4K, not 4K.
I'll take that.
Really?
I'll take that. And they can take the time to improve quality, but man, you understand how hungry my TV is for 4K content.
Actually,
you know what I mean?
Maybe I'm being harsh. They're still in beta. So do what they like, but they're forcing me to go and buy a Series S, basically. No, Series X. There's no point in an S. Because Forza is a great game, man, but I want to sit in front of the TV and play that.
Yeah.
So I do. I want to play it in a big TV. And yeah, I am a snob like Jerry these days. When you see what you can get elsewhere and the quality that you can get, xCloud just doesn't cut it, but it has the content, and I keep going back because it has the content.
Yeah.
So wait, you said you're a snob, but weren't you asking for like a used PC for like $100 or something earlier this week? Becking around the internet.
I was just messing. Anyone selling a PC, by the way?
There we go. But anywho, let's for the sake of time, let's speculate about next week, right? 20th anniversary for this platform, Xbox as a whole, right? So let's speculate a little bit, right? There's rumors that the multiplayer portion of Halo Infinite is going to release. Let's talk about that because people are saying, and Duncan, you can come in on this, but there's stuff about it potentially coming to xCloud as well. But do you think we'll see more? Do you think, I don't want to say my piece yet, but I'm going to open this up. Do you think Microsoft is going to surprise us with something, maybe the 4K that we're just previously talking about, maybe a new IP, or maybe an update on the game that they've been working on? But I'm just going to open it up, speculate a little bit. 20th anniversary coming for Xbox. Do you guys think we'll see anything for xCloud this week?
I don't think it'll be any new games because they specifically said that they weren't going to be announcing any games at this.
Okay, fair enough. Anyone else?
Halo releasing on Monday.
Huh?
There's enough rumors Halo's coming out early.
The multiplayer.
The multiplayer. Oh, is that actually happening?
There's lots of signs pointing to that if you go into the store pages and people looking at codes. The latest thing, literally just before we came on here, somebody is saying that it may be delayed. We might just get the announcement tomorrow, but I think we'll find out. I think xCloud related, I think we might get the release date of it when it's going to console for everybody into the mainstream now. I know some of you guys have been testing it in the beta sort of rings. I think we might get that as a xCloud announcement when it's going to everything. And again, I mentioned it earlier there, the back compat games, we're seeing an absolute ton of stuff. There's a ton of games that have just been updated that way, so we might hear something about back compat as well, and maybe get a load of games maybe on the xCloud, because that's one of the reasons I think they've been doing the 60 the FPS boost, so they can get the older games onto it.
Yeah.
I agree with Duncan. I think it's going to be like some sort of new partnership where they're going to have like a ton of games added to Game Pass.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it's going to be like Sega or Capcom or somebody that just like I feel like there's another partnership coming.
Yeah.
Because the EA one is working very well, so like why not?
Yeah.
Maybe Ubisoft, but again, they said no new games, so it's got to be games that they already have, available in the Xbox store that just coming to Game Pass. I was also thinking earlier this week that with all the testing that they're doing with cloud on the console, that they could potentially run out like a test to all people open to try Halo Infinite multiplayer on all consoles. Just everybody can hop in and play. Like that would be a brilliant marketing move.
Yeah. I think Microsoft have mastered these type of situations and events, right? They know what this is. I don't think they're gonna let it go to waste. Like you were saying, they probably don't have like new games to show that they haven't announced or shown yet, but they still have a lot of games that was supposed to release this year that got pushed back to next year. I'm sure we'll see. I feel like we're gonna see some announcements, man. I feel like that's gonna be
If I'm not wrong, the Gunk is coming out next week.
the who?
The what?
The Gunk. You
The
guys don't know
Gunk?
the game?
Ooh, the gunk.
That's a game from exclusive from Xbox that is coming out next week, and the Battlefield release official is next week. So we'll never know.
Wait. Oh shoot. Oh.
If they sneak that in as a day one thing last minute,
Oh.
They did that with
Outriders.
Outriders.
Oh, come on.
I don't think they will do it,
Shit.
but it is possible. They've surprised us before.
Wow. You
Um,
know.
I-
You heard it here first, folks.
The conks,
CGX.
the conks in December.
Is that
What?
what's stuck in your throat?
Yes, it basically is. Yes, but the conks in December.
December. Okay, but
I think that we're going to see more footage on Redfall because that's coming out early next year, and we know very little about it other than what they announced this summer. So I feel like they're going to show that also more because that's the first Bethesda exclusive for Microsoft.
yeah, I hope not.
What's the
they-
big one? Star something again?
Starfield.
Starfield. Hopefully, see more on
I
that.
would love to see. The thing with that Redfall is they dedicated their whole presentation to that game last time. It looks good, but I personally would like to see some other stuff. So my big thing is I missed out on the fridge, the mini fridge. I want that fridge. So let's get some more pre-orders in that fridge. I would gladly take one. But GTP, let's hear from you, man. What do you think we might see from them this event?
There's been tons of speculation. I would say temper expectations. I think this is going to be exactly what it's supposed to be. This is a celebration.
Okay.
This is going to be a recap of 20 years of Xbox, from the OG to the 360 to the One to now. It's going to show the evolution of where Xbox Live has come from when it launched with Mech Assault and Midtown Madness 3 back in the day, and that type of thing. I think it's going to be, obviously, its main focal point is a celebration of Xbox. Hype for the fans, nostalgia. It's going to push all those buttons. I don't think you see things like Starfield, Redfall, Battlefield. All these things are clutter that take away from the importance of the 20 years of Xbox, and the only thing that matters is Halo. There is no other game that matters for the 20-year anniversary than Halo. It's going to hit hard on a recap of the past 20 years, and it's going to hit hard on Halo. And I wouldn't be surprised to see the free multiplayer go live to celebrate while we wait for the campaign to come out and they finish polishing that more for the next month. I think it's December 8th.
Yeah,
It's slated to come out. So I don't think you see like Battlefield goes to Game Pass or Redfall stuff here or this or that. I really think you see a hype session for 20 years of Xbox and a big focus on Halo with a surprise drop and maybe some surprise announcements.
Yeah.
I feel like considering that video they released last week with like the Gen X or the millennials and the Gen Z people playing together, like I think that's they're going to do a lot more stuff like that. Like that video was really cool.
Yeah. I think, they were supposed to launch Halo last year with the Series X, and they missed that. And I think they're gonna, like, marketing's gonna be off the roof with this 20-year anniversary. Like GTP was saying, I think this might be the event that, like, really everything they planned on doing last year that they couldn't because of delay, they're gonna probably use this event to kind of push. So it's gonna be quite interesting to see what comes. I hope this more than Halo. I'm just gonna be real. Give me my 4K, give me my
I don't think you
Battlefield.
see any xCloud announcements other than showing it as part of the evolution of Xbox and where the future is headed. Look, GFN came with the 3080, right? We had no idea. Like, I'm sitting
Right.
here saying we're 5 years away 1 week, and then the next week I'm like, oh snap, like this just happened. So is Xbox capable of just coming out and being like, oh, by the way, xCloud's good now? Like it's
Yeah.
sure they could, but I think they're going to miss that goal they had of this year that they talked about. They always kept saying, oh, by December, Ubisoft in 4K. I don't think either one of those come this year, and I think xCloud improvements are more 2022. And I think you see 1440 and 4K sometime next year. I think they're just going to be a little behind pulling that off, but I think they're continuing with the content. I think they want to get those purchases figured out for the cloud, which is just going to dominate once your Xbox purchases go to cloud. Again, content. They do that. So I think 2022 is a bigger year for xCloud. It's still free with Game Pass. It's always was chucked in as an add-on for people that had Game Pass Ultimate to try it. It's not a standalone service that they make money on yet, and of course still in beta, even though we treat it like it's not because it has AAA games and it's Microsoft. But I don't think xCloud's like a focal point of the 20-year, but it'll be in there.
Don't break my heart, GTP.
Sorry, man. I know you're cloud only, but it's gonna hype guys like me.
It's all good. Let's see what happens. Again, we're not too far off. So in 2 days, we should see this event kick off. But yeah, Gamer, let me check in with you, and then we'll move to GFN. What are your thoughts on these games, man?
Yeah, the announcement. I agree with GTP. Yeah, I mean, I think those would be my exact words and sentiments. But I do believe we see 4K a lot sooner, only because I don't know if you guys have paid attention to Rainway. Is that the name of the guys who's running the behind the scenes with xCloud, I believe? But they just released, or maybe last week, they released a tweet, a picture of a graphics GPU module that contained the power of like 4 3060s, maybe. So that could be something. They mentioned something about changing the game. This is ridiculous power. So let's see what happens. I mean, we know they're connected to Microsoft. So,
that's cool. Didn't know about that, but yeah. We'll see where that one goes. Anyone else want to add to this announcement before we move on to GFN? All right, so we move in. So GFN, give us the weekly. Where do we want to start? Yeah, all right, we'll start with the weekly games released for this platform. So we have Bright Memory Infinite, which I would say is probably the biggest highlight. But if Chief was here, he'll probably say Jurassic World Evolution 2 is. I just don't get that game. But the other game was, let's see, Maple Story, Serve Steel, Tales of Immortal, and Epic Chef, which actually released on Luna as well. So those are the games that released for GFN this week. Just want to check in with you guys. Where you at excitement level with these games coming this week for GFN? Again, this is the third or fourth week where they're giving us less than 10 games, so let's also take that into consideration. But let's start with Eddie Play One, man. Thoughts on GFN
Man,
game this
you
week?
really got well accustomed, right? Oh my god, they're giving less than 10 games a week.
Chief started it, so I'm just following the trend, man. He has an issue with the 10 games, so we gotta keep that going.
Well, for the releases of this week, my highlight goes to Guardians of the Galaxy, which it's not this week, but it's still the big release of the month that I've been playing.
Yeah.
I did try it out. Jurassic Park. It's been Marco.
Take a picture, Dad. Come on.
Second, Marco. I'm talking to the
Hey.
guys.
What's up, dude? How are you?
So the highlight of the week, I want to say it was Jurassic Park for me, because it has been a while I didn't play a tycoon game, and the graphics of Jurassic Park, it's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I built an octagon, put 2 dinos inside, and made them fight. So that was my highlight of the week for those games.
That's
But
cool.
for the games that released it this week, that's the one for me.
Okay, fair enough. It's quite interesting that you say that about Guardians of the Galaxy, because I too was thinking, right, the game, except from Bright Memory, this week didn't look that hot. But if you look back at the previous month with New World, with Kenna, with Guardians of the Galaxy, with Far Cry, with Riders, man, you have a lot of pretty decent games in GFN that can carry you over. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about, the games for this week. So let's check in.
Yeah, I'll let somebody talk about
Yeah.
Bright Memory, because I did watch a little bit. I was this close to get it on Steam. I didn't got it because I got some Switch games this week. So
Yeah, man, we have a video that should have been up, so sorry for that, but should be coming up soon. I know, like, should be coming up soon, but man, that game, well, I'll talk more about it. But Ben, let's check in with you on this one. What's your take on the 6 games that came out for GFN this week?
I think that Bright Memory is a pretty good get. Jurassic World Evolution is pretty awesome. I know that's got a pretty good following. I was watching Vet play Jurassic World earlier this week, and he was having a blast with it. So I know people are having a lot of fun with that one. I feel like Tale of Immortal has a bigger following than most people realize.
Really?
And while there's not a lot of excitement for people that are in the cloud gaming community, for PC players, that's a pretty big game.
Let me check it out. Okay.
Like it's overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam.
Really? Okay. We'll get some footage of that going. But yeah, where would you rate this, Ben? Just being realistic, on a scale of 0 to 10 million, this is the best GFN week.
If we're talking
would you rate
about
this?
games alone, I would say probably like 7.5. In terms of GFN week,
Wow.
I feel like there was a bit of detraction because of the frame capping issue. Like that took a lot of wind out of their steam, a lot of wind out of their sails. That hurt them. If that hadn't been such a big deal, this week would have looked a lot better for them.
Okay. Fair enough. So 7, 8-ish. All right. How about you, Gamer? What's your take on these games coming to Geforce Now this week?
It's what I said, way back when, the minute they stop dropping the 10 plus games, man, everybody's gonna look around like, yo, what the hell's going on here, right?
Yeah.
But hey, they can do no wrong in my book, man. They have so much gathered equity for me, and then just changing the game and pushing cloud forward, man. They can go a few weeks without releasing games, and I'll be okay. I'm not going to say anything bad about these guys.
Okay.
They're really showing the commitment versus anyone else that I've seen in the market. Bright Memory, I love that game. It's something I've played before, and I'd actually play that again. The RTX issue, that isn't a big deal for me. Like I said, they can't do anything wrong. Jurassic World, I have yet to give that a shot, but my kids, they do want to jump in. Everything else is Tale of Immortal. I mean, I know about that game. It's really cool. My little brother, he's a huge fan of that, so I know that's a strong get. Not a lot of hype, but it's a strong get. But overall, again, man, it's GFN, and if this week dropped anywhere else, it's a good week. So for me, hell, it's still a good week.
Yeah. So just to highlight what you were saying, the Epic Chef, right, is the only game that came out for Luna this week, right?
Yeah.
And that is a game we're not even talking about here. So
Absolutely.
just to paint that picture. But yeah, okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Hell Monkey, what's your take here, man? What are your thoughts on these games?
So I am going to be the usual angry Scotsman.
Oh boy. Oh
Bright
boy.
Memory was advertised coming to GFN with RTX on, and now I look like an absolute pillock because in our news video, I showed off the trailer, really showed how good the game can look with RTX on. Yeah, it's a novelty sort of thing. Your DLSS, etc., is more important for performance and feel of the game. But don't tell me it's coming, release it, and it's not there. Like, surely you know it's not compatible. We know they have issues with the Windows software. It doesn't support RTX. It's not possible in certain new game releases. That's fair enough, but surely you know this beforehand. Like, the guys at NVIDIA know what they're doing, but
So just to clarify, we did ask them, right? Remember that we did ask them. I think right, and they said yes that RTX was coming for this game.
yeah,
So do you think they know that it's not, or like yeah, it's
I don't
kind
know
of
if they know, but
right.
it looks bad. It's
It
as simple as
does.
that. It
It
looks
does.
Monkey,
bad.
can I ask you a question?
Of course you can.
It's not coming at all, RTX, on this
So
game?
this is the thing, we don't know. The option is there in game, but it's asking for DX12 support.
Yeah.
Some
Okay.
games support DX12. The latest being was Fist, the Forged in Shadow Talks game. Oh, I need to go back and play that. That was really good. Actually, I enjoyed that. What you could do there was when you enabled ray tracing in the settings, it restarted the game, and then it was available. But in games like Bright Memory and Far Cry, etc., it's just not an option. It's unsupported. But what's really getting me is they said it was coming, and now it's not here.
It looks
That
bad because I
really-
think I saw on Twitter as
Yeah.
well. Like
Yeah,
they're
they've been
promoting the
tweeting
game
it.
on Twitter or on GFN's Twitter. They're promoting the game and they're promoting the RTX on and off.
Yeah.
That looks bad.
Rookie errors, and it just doesn't look good. But listen, don't let that put you off the game. It's fantastic, and if anyone owned the first one on Steam, you're getting a free upgrade. The game's in your library right now, so it is. So you know you've got no reason not to go check it out. As for the other games, yeah, listen, you guys have sort of covered it already. 6 games isn't good enough for GFN, but in the grand scheme of things, when you look at the games releasing this week, they were never going to get Forza. Like that was just never going to happen, even though it's on Steam. So I can't complain. I'm enjoying Bright Memory. I know people are complaining it's a short game.
I love it.
Which is fair enough. Yeah, you love it because you're like me. You never complete a game. I'll probably not even complete this either because it's kind of hard. And I don't want to drop it down to easy because then it'll be too easy.
Do it.
No, so I'm happy. I've got a free game this week on GFN and Bright Memory. I'm enjoying it. It's a good wee challenge. And the other games there are going to suit other gamers. But yes, issues need addressed. Marketing, of all the things, marketing. You know, we slaughter Stadia for it.
Yeah.
GFN, you're not missing it. You know, I'm not missing you and hitting the wall this week.
Right.
I'm not happy.
So let me ask you a question because there's a game that you recently covered that also had this issue to where it's supposed to. It was advertised to have ray tracing. The game released.
Sword and Fairy 7.
Yes, that right. So this
Yeah.
is now. It's not just one game. It's
No.
you know. So it's an issue. And this is something they need to resolve, right? Because so I was on Facebook and people were really upset. I was trying to help this guy through it, but they were like, why can't I access RTX? I specifically got this game to see what RTX looks like on my 3080. They were mad.
Your first mistake was you were on Facebook. Everybody's always upset on Facebook.
And on Twitter, but let's be real. No, but yeah, again, I think this is becoming an issue. But I do want to get to the next issue with GFN. Did we get everyone's take on games? Oh, my bad. G2. Oh, my goodness. Wow. All right, go ahead.
Imagine forgetting about Jerry.
We're all good. I'm just listening to you guys on that. Okay, so as far as the Hell Monkey upsetness, as far as like a marketing standpoint and making news videos, like it's tough, right? And so like if you go see something that I do, like you'll see the trailer, but you won't hear me say the words RTX because I already know there's a good chance that this is going to happen. The thing is, and they have told us this specifically, they do not get to test these games ahead of time. They load them the day they launch, and they onboard them, and they try them, and this is why sometimes they're a day late or longer, or RTX doesn't work, because it's not like for every new game, RTX doesn't work. Guardians of the Galaxy, it does work. Same software, same Windows OS. So, they're working through that, and they have also said to us that they're aware and that they can't announce anything right now, but it's being worked on. Hopefully we get those updates. Can you imagine, it's not that easy to upgrade your server OS for GFN overnight. So I'm sure it'll get fixed, even though it is an annoyance. I mean, we've got Metro Exodus Enhanced, Far Cry 6, Bright Memory, Sword and Fairy. Like, we've got quite a few that now are not working. So it's going to be an issue for some people, but hopefully we can get past that. I just don't think they know ahead of time. I think they don't know until they load up the game and try it, much like we do locally here, when we start getting an issue. Bright Memory Infinite, fantastic. I thought I was going to have to buy it again. Like how Monkey said, I went into my library because I played through the original, which is less than an hour. You can blaze through that game very fast.
Wait, is it really less?
The original is very short. I played through it in well less than an hour. I made a video last year on it on GFN.
So that means I'm about to beat it probably.
But Bright Memory Infinite is different. There's been more. That's a lot more content and stuff has been added for the fans and for the gamers. So Infinite is not the same as just playing Bright Memory. So that's the one I'm working on a new video, which you guys are probably already put up or about to put up for Infinite on GFN, which of course won't have ray tracing right now. But fantastic though. The guy, I mean, just when I played the original, I was mind blown that one person had made the game. I didn't care if it was super short because I had a ball with it. I was done with it. I supported them by buying it, and it was awesome. Jurassic World Evolution 2. Okay, so like I killed the first game with so many hours. And look, if you're not a theme park building fan or a sim type fan like that, or you don't absolutely love dinosaurs, you're not gonna like the game. No. It's a sim theme park building game based on dinosaurs from Jurassic Park, and I can play it for thousands of hours. And it's amazing. I love it. So great one, but it wasn't on the roadmap for November. So I was upset like a week ago, like, oh, we're not getting the game. It's not on the roadmap, and then it surprise dropped. So nobody here has said stealth drop yet, but Jurassic World Evolution 2 was a stealth drop. So nobody knew it was coming, and then all of a sudden a week later they said it is coming after the roadmap. So but I was glad because the first one was already on there, and I was happy to see that. So yeah, that's my piece on that part.
Cool. Thanks for that, GTP. How about you, Duncan?
Okay, the first one I want to talk about is Ben touched on it, and it was that Tale of Immortal. 25,000 people were playing that concurrently today, so this is a pretty big game that's died down a bit now. It's more a different market. As we know, GFN are expanding around the world, so we need to grab games for the different audiences. I'm expecting GFN to be like this until the new year. I think we're going to see a real cut down in games until they get all the server rollouts, and the time it comes into Europe, you're going to be into next year, basically, because you'll be winding down for the holiday period coming up. So I'm expecting the game releases to be, as we're getting at the moment, a couple of big bangers and other ones sort of not making up the numbers sounds bad, but I think you know what I mean, just a couple of other ones ticking along. So I think this was a GFM week. I think there's going to be a mixed bag. I think you're either going to like this week or you're going to hate this week. I don't think there's too much. I think it was solid enough. Sort of one, but I really want them to sort out the shadow drops for the big games, because or reasonably big games like Jurassic World Evolution 2. That it's a reasonably big game. You would probably want to know about that coming. It's different, the older games dropping in, but the brand new releases, I think it's much better for us to find out when they're actually coming.
Yeah.
Do you think that has anything to do with the fact that they don't know how it's going to work until the game releases, so they don't want to promise it until the day of?
Possibly.
Like if they have an agreement in the works, but because they can't get the port until after the game is up, like it takes them 2 hours or whatever to load it in. Do you think that has anything to do with the fact why we have so many shadow drops for the big games, the more resource heavy ones?
Possibly, but tell us. Transparency, like we talked. Yeah, that can be the case. The other thing to add to this is I don't mind shadow drop every once in a while, right? They did it last month with Crisis and New World, and to me that was fun. We didn't expect it, and boom, here it was. So I don't mind shadow drop, but if it's the case of an issue performance wise or tested, this brings up a theme which I want to hop right into with transparency.
One thing is when you get the shadow drop once a month, or the other thing is when you get a shadow drop once a week. Like a volume's a big difference.
Yeah, true. I agree. So let's move on to the biggest controversy that I think GFN has faced since they opened out a beta and companies started leaving the platform. So I'm gonna let GTP kind of break this down, and just gonna open it up to some conversation and see what the panel have to say about this. And for those of you guys watching, you guys let us know too. What are your thoughts on this issue? So GTP, take it.
All right, so I've had to really think hard about this, because after I made my initial news video and started digging and learning more and more, I had to take a step back and figure out what was going on. So, and I talked to Hell Monkey a lot in chat too while we were figuring a lot of this stuff out. But a lot of things were just pre-existing that I just didn't dig into because I hadn't tested games that had lost performance. So, like Cyberpunk, for instance. I stopped testing that game in January, and up until that time, I had the same exact performance, being able to play the game at high settings, 60 FPS or above, with no problems. And then I never tried it again on GFN. I was done with the game at that point, and anything I had played around with after that, I hadn't noticed big issues. But apparently, for bringing on more capacity and things like that, at some point between December and February, from what I can tell, CPU cores were cut to divvy out differently to help capacity, which would change performance on that 2080D. Cutting that down, it would change and cause issues, especially in CPU-heavy games like Cyberpunk. So hence, then you start to frame rate cap games that would be suffering and offer the best settings that come up when you go in and try to get the game to run at that to help alleviate that. This is happening with quite a few games, and there's a list. You guys will probably put up the link. They have a list of what games they've come out 2 days ago with a blog post with a short list of what games have been capped, and they're doing this to keep the whatever certain level of quality up for the game, for the experience for the user. Now, really quickly, as the PC gamer in me, the PC builder in me absolutely despises this decision. I don't like cutting up cores more, I don't like reducing game performance, and I don't like capping frame rates in PC games whatsoever for any reason, ever. No PC gamer worth their salt will like frame rate caps for any reason. But what my biggest issue was, not so much new games coming out, because I would kind of understand as you're upgrading hardware, you may need to cap some newer games to help with the experience, because not everybody knows how to go in and tweak settings to make it work properly. And like, I get that, but like a game like Cyberpunk that I was able to run at a certain way, a certain performance on priority for the money I paid, all of a sudden is running horribly. And what also turned me on to this was, believe it or not, people are still buying Cyberpunk. So I've had 6 or 7 messages now in the past week of people that went and bought Cyberpunk based on my videos from last year or December and January, and are hitting me up being like, either your stuff is fake or something has happened, because I ain't hitting 70 FPS in Cyberpunk. I'm doing 30 to 45 on a 45 cap. And I'm like, okay. And that's when I started digging in. Now, really quickly too, behind the scenes, there is communication with the GFN team, and I am also working to try to help resolve some of the performance issues, because we shouldn't be dipping under the 45. So my bigger gripe is that dip in performance. I don't care if I put it on all those settings. I go into a gunfight and I'm 30 to 45 FPS stuttering all over the place. I'm not happy about caps, but I'm even less happy about that. Now, if you can give me a consistent 45 FPS experience, we'll get past it. Now, the other side of me that is less upset, because the other part of me is really upset, is, okay, if you take a step back, even though this is PC games, this is getting big. We're at over 12 million users. They're in a cloud gaming space now that's getting a lot of attention and a lot of growth. And not everybody these days, compared to what used to be, signing on to GFN are PC gamers. And I've had a lot of people reach out to me and say, I love Geforce Now, but I'm not a PC gamer, so a lot of this is confusing to me. So I'm seeing more and more of that as more people come on, which is opening my mind to the fact that, as much as I don't like it, to help with that, they may have to do some of this type of stuff with some of these games for the performance, even if I don't like it, just looking at it from the consumer standpoint. Now, what I really want to see is things go back to normal. I want the normal performance in the games I used to have. I don't want FPS caps. And what I want them to do is add a setting in your GFN app or on your browser, whatever, that's whatever called best user experience, or I don't know how to do PC, whatever the case is. Call it the setting, whatever you want. You click that on, and the games will have caps. They'll have preset settings. They'll have whatever, so you don't have to think, right? And it'll offer the experience that they're trying to offer here without giving you the choice. And I think that's what upsets a lot of, especially PC gamers, is taking away the choice to run these games how we want to run them. And I went back and watched my old Cyberpunk video, and I literally say, what I love most about GFN is the PC games and being able to run them however I want. And then now today, I can't run them all how I want, right? And that's going to make some people upset, including myself. But I am smart enough to take a step back and look at all of the reasons why and what all the moving parts are. And even if I don't like it, I can see from their perspective why they're doing some of this. It doesn't mean I have to like it. But I would like to see things kind of change how they move forward and how they do these things in the future.
Okay. Thanks for the breakdown.
That was me being nice. That's about as nice as I can kind of handle it. But you know, at least they are coming out and talking about it more. And you know, it's not so much behind the scenes. I don't like that. I don't like things to be hidden, because it makes them worse than they really are. So at least they're getting in front of it. At least we're able to talk about it more, and at least we're getting a list of games and that type of thing. So we just gotta kind of follow it and see how it evolves in the future. But the initial sting is kind of gone, but it's still not great.
Yeah, true. Thanks for that breakdown, GTP. I'm gonna open this up for the sake of time. Anyone just hop in and give you a piece in it. I do want to move on to Google Stadia. So just anyone hop on and just say your piece about this situation.
I'll go real quick. What you see on screen right now is, Eddie, get the bleep button out there, Eddie. It's bull bleep, because half the CPU cores, not good enough. You can't just half it and not tell us, like, and think we won't notice, and then come out with this nonsense and say, oh, this is the optimal performance. No, it ain't, because it was working perfectly fine beforehand. So as Jerry says, he had Cyberpunk set up, running really nice. We did a video on Cyberpunk as well on Geforce Now, running fantastically well. And now people are like, this game is shit on GFN. It's like, basically, it's nearly unplayable. Yes, I'll look at it objectively, like Jerry as well, and say their terms and conditions allows them to do this, but that's just an easy dig out there. So it is. we call for transparency from all companies and services that we invest time and money into. NVIDIA are no different. I don't like this. It stinks. Really not happy about it. And I can't. I'm sort of lost for words because it just stinks.
Yeah, true.
I'll just say this: I think they've been caught with their pants down, and it's not a good look. And as we can see here with the dates added, this has went back a long time, and it's only been discovered because of the new tier coming out, and people are putting 2 + 2 together and thinking that they're doing this to move people onto the new tier when this has obviously been going on for nearly a year now. I'm hoping going forward they're going to come out and be a bit more open with this and say if any new games come on, they are capping it from the thing. We don't want caps. I think we're all going to be very clear on that. We don't want caps. We want the freedom to actually change it. But if there is going to be a cap involved, they just need to come out and say it from the word go. There's 12 games here out from the 1,100 games here, so it's a tiny fraction of the amount of games on GFN, but I think it's we do need to a bit more out there. So I'm trying to say a bit quieter here, as for obvious reasons.
True. I do want to hear from Gamer though. What's your take here, man?
I'm not mad at them for taking a little control over their own optimizations, right? Okay. I am upset about the lack of transparency. That's all it is. Just be transparent about it and do what you need to do. Dude, if it's only 12 games, come on. That's like making a mountain out of a molehill. It's really more so about the transparency piece. I don't believe it's about the actual performance and what I'm getting and this, that, and the other. It's like, just sit down. I mean, like, come on, really? These guys, they have over 1,100 games, right? Like, go play something else. If it makes you that mad, go play something else. Be upset about the transparency piece. That's it.
Yeah.
I have to disagree there. I have to disagree because some people will only use Geforce Now for the high demanding games like Cyberpunk or like a Valheim, etc. So why should what is advertised and what they've had be taken away without their knowledge? Because they've literally took it away without their knowledge. I don't care what the terms and conditions say.
But did they advertise that though? Did they advertise, hey, experience Cyberpunk at 120 frames or 70 frames? I don't believe that was ever the message for any particular game. That's more so of the community assuming like, hey, it's a PC, it's a remote PC, right? That's kind of what people call it. So I should be able to control this thing like I would control my local rig. Okay, cool. But at the end of the day, they can do what they want to do.
It's the fact that they were running better before without these caps. Them optimizing their own games is just a load of nonsense to me because the games are running better beforehand. They're not running well now because they've halved the hardware in terms of CPU. So they have. Now, if they've had to do this because they are experiencing an influx of users, tell us.
I mean, absolutely. On the fly. No, absolutely. That's the transparency piece. So if they're transparent about it, then great. But they're doing what they need to do to ensure everyone has a good experience. So I'm okay with that. Do it because we know other platforms that don't. We know other platforms that will allow a game to hit the platform like, oh, okay, oh well, cool.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with the proactive approach.
Right. So, Gamer, what I'm hearing you say is that you're okay with them doing this, but just be honest and open about doing it.
Absolutely. Yeah, right. Do what you must. It's your platform. Ensure the experience for everyone. Cool.
True. Cool. Just gonna see if anyone else want to hop in here. So I'll give go ahead, Eddie. Yeah.
I do very quickly here. If I'm not wrong, my friend Chase, the gaming advocate, was here last week.
Yeah.
And in his words, consumers are losing here. Let's say you paid for something and you were using that something and then it got taken away from you with an explanation. But that explanation is you paid for the service, and now you could use it and have this deliver performance for you. We're capping out a little bit of that performance in a few select games. I know it's if we're talking about the percentage, it doesn't make any sense at all. But the question that I have for you guys is, GFN just launched the 3080 tier. It's very limited, still available for a few pre-orders in a few regions. But the 3080 tier doesn't have those caps, correct?
No. From what we're seeing, no.
Yep. So that's basically it. You had something that you paid $50 per month, $50 for 6 months. And that's something it's been kind of taken away from you. But if you want that something back, you got to pay $99 for 6 months.
Just drop the mic, Eddie. Drop the mic, man.
Yeah, and that's why they needed to get this out when they started doing it in November last year.
Yeah.
And if they got that out beforehand, it is the perfect storm, which is unfortunately caused by themselves or by not coming out and saying this, because I'm not sure if it was you, GTP, or someone else who found that Reddit article from about November, December last year, where there was the first talk about this, and it didn't really generate a lot of noise. And I think that is, it should have probably been kicked off a bit bigger back then. And I don't think it would have blown up to such a scale as it is now.
Yeah, I see a lot of fingers pointing back to last year that they were transparent, but they were quietly transparent. Like, it got posted in one spot and nobody really talked about it except for the hardcore people at the time, and even many like myself missed out on the fact that cores were like cut in half and stuff like that towards the end of last year. And if they would have been out in front of it, it wouldn't look like Eddie is saying now, where it's like, oh, I got to pay the 99 instead of the 50 to get my performance back that I had with the 50 almost, you know what I mean? Because we know this has been happening. That's not what they're doing, but optic wise, it certainly does make it look that way.
Yeah. So again, I think what it comes down here, like we've stated multiple times, is transparency. And like Gamer was saying, if they need to do this, then do it, but just be open, right? Let us know what's going on. And again, I feel like they've tried to do a good job with being transparent, but like Duncan was saying, they got caught with their pens down here. So this is not a good look. I've heard in GTP, I'm sure you getting it too, some people are saying like, I'm canceling my 3080, or I'm not moving forward with this until we get some clarification. So the consumers are feeling this, and hopefully they listen in, and going forward they start being transparent when they do things like this.
I'm not saying it's the same situation, but it's similar to like when people found out that Stadia wasn't really doing 4K, that they were upscaling a lot of things and calling it 4K and charging for it. Like, it's still like a disservice to the customer.
Right.
But it doesn't mean it's not playable. It doesn't
True.
mean that it's not pretty. It doesn't mean that it doesn't work.
True.
It's just people aren't getting what they were promised or what they thought they were promised.
Yeah.
And so it's okay to get angry, but you didn't see people quitting Stadia in droves because they weren't getting the true 4K that they thought they were paying for. So I don't see why people are still getting angry over, instead of 60 FPS, you're getting 50 in a lot of these games. Like, yes, it's a little bit of a drop. Yes, if you're a serious gamer, you'll notice it. But I see a lot of people that complain about how they say they don't see a difference between 30 and 60 anyway. So those people shouldn't be the ones complaining.
Yeah, like realistically speaking, I can't even tell what 45 or like. It to me is a good time still. So that's all I care about. Anywho, go ahead. After this, we do have to.
It's just very quick. I think it's worth emphasizing. Because I asked a question to GFN about this, and even though the games are coming at 40 or 50 FPS, the stream is coming at 60 FPS. So that's why some people, I would say most people wouldn't notice much of a difference between the different frame rates, because the actual video stream coming is 60 FPS. So I think that was maybe just worth mentioning there. But I know Hellmonkey and GTP will probably rake me over the coals for that.
True. All right, let's move on. And good discussion piece. And thank you guys all for your input there. But let's move on to Google Stadia. I'm gonna try and Dag, Monkey, you right on with the transitions, man. It's crazy. But I'm gonna try to bundle everything into one here, because again, for time's sake. But again, they got an timed exclusive title with Wavetail for pro members. Shout outs to them. That's awesome. We have some. Oh man, we got so much to cover. Dang. All right. So just let's put the blog post all in one, and I'm gonna open it up because I do want to get to the anniversary and speculate there. So we're gonna do this. I'm gonna open it up. What are your thoughts about the blog post that just happened? Again, they're doing it bi-weekly now. Some people call it fortnight, right? For whatever that's called, but bi-weekly. And this was the first week that we got the blog post. They give us a pro game. They give us some indie sales. But yeah, Just Dance 2022. What's your take on this blog post? Gonna open it up. Anyone, feel free, hop on.
Poor. It was really poor. When something goes fortnightly, you would expect it to be a little more fulfilling. Don't get me wrong. Wavebreak coming in, Wavetail going to pro, great for the service. That's a fantastic game to have as part of your subscription service. You know, I wouldn't have spent $30 or the equivalent on that game. So to get it as part of the subscription, yeah, great, and it's a really good game. So if you have Stadia Pro, go and try it. I think you'll enjoy it. No matter what type of gamer you are, it's just really easy, really nice. Just Dance is Just Dance. I know there's complaints that it's not on Ubisoft Plus as part of your subscription, but then again, there's only a select community will play that game, and then there's not much else after that. So there's really not
Just
much.
indie sales, man. How you missing the indie sales, my dude?
So the sales are good, but it's the same games that are always on sale, just in a different order on Stadia. You know, because there are so little, and that's not a dig. They're just new. They're only 2 years in. I don't expect them to have a thousand games the way the service works. So, yeah, the sales there. Have a look through it. It's decent enough, but kind of feel like if you haven't got them already, you probably won't get them. And yeah, they updated the Explore feed. That's just a community thing. It's not making any news, but they're consistently doing stuff, which is good, but I sort of expected more. But when you look at the bigger picture, so they said 200 games this year. No, 100 games this year, sorry. I think we're currently at 91 or 92. So they only have single figures left to go until December 31st. So I don't expect much more to happen, but I maybe expected them to let us know what's coming down the line, maybe in the next 2 weeks as well. So,
okay,
yeah,
cool. Anyone else hop on here?
Well, to Monkey's point, like you'd think that with that pay restructure thing that they did with the devs, you'd think they would have had some more surprise indie games on there with people jumping on. And I haven't seen hardly anything that seems to have come from that. So I'm curious, like, maybe they should reevaluate it again. But where's the news? I know it takes time, but I feel like with a lot of those indie games, like it's not a lot of like AAA stuff. Like where's the easy ports, the little ones? Like they made it easier to port games now.
I think they're maybe still ironing out some contracts and things with people and developers and publishers that may be interested in the revamped Pro system. So, yes, as I says, I don't think we'll see any of that come to fruition until next year.
So the issue that you guys had with the blog post was how it was written last time and the timely manner of it. Any of that issue this time?
Yeah, the Elder Scrolls section in there, I just don't understand the point of that whatsoever. Like, there's nothing happening in the game, so like, why not fill that up with some jargon about Wavetail and the developers? It's a first on Stadia as well. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. So you can't get this anywhere else right now.
Right.
Why not do an extra wee piece speaking to the publishers or the developers? Just a random thing about Elder Scrolls in there. I just don't understand it.
One thing I want to mention about the Wavetail is when games go exclusive as a timed exclusive, you don't have the publisher coming out, oh, it's going to be on the X platform next year. It is we're with no plans about other platforms. And within 10, or I think it was actually even during the trailer, it is going first in Stadia and it's going to other platforms later. It's an exclusive. They should be really ironing that out and not and pushing that it's an exclusive. Even if it's 3 months or 6 months, it should be really worded like that. Because as we've seen this week, the Stadia community got into a bit of a buzz because of this game, because it is an exclusive game. And that's infectious. It goes out to other places. You really should be pushing that, because how many times are Stadia going to get announced by Mark Hamill on a flipping show and on a bit of a stage? They should be milking this a bit here and really pushing it, but it's now going to be a bit flat because we know 100% it is going on to PC and consoles in 2022. I don't know what was going on with that sort of thing. With the blog post, it's exactly what I was expecting. Unfortunately, I'm not blaming the guys who write the blog post. They're just getting told what to write there. Basically, I think their hands are tied behind their back and they're not given enough material to work with. As you said, there could have been like a wee dev interview or anything, but for Stadia, in Stadia land, Stadia as an island, Stadia nowhere else, this is a good, it's a reasonable week. It's even you could say a good week for them because they've got that exclusive game.
Okay. Anyone else before we hop into some anniversary speculation?
You know what? I'll chime in really quickly, and it'll be brief.
Go ahead.
So Wavetail, I think that was awesome. Good get. It's a nice little title, right? That's it for me. In terms of everything else, I think the little bi-weekly deal, it was a thud. Didn't do much. My expectations weren't high for that. But yeah, I think Stadia, they're just chugging along at this point. So keep bringing the small little indie games. Okay, cool. So be it. And, perhaps they aren't really trying to compete right now anyway. So that's the story, right? They have 10 years. So.
Okay, fair enough. Anyone else?
I was just gonna say, I was like Monkey. I was very confused with why they even had like Elder Scrolls on there. Like what was the point? Like, it's just a big graphic in the middle that's just breaking everything up. Like there was nothing there. Like it's like they're trying to keep the game alive. But other than that, it wasn't bad. Like it's just that just made no sense to me.
Again, though, are we being picky?
No, it's not picky. It's a giant graphic in the middle of the article.
Really?
Like it's just it breaks everything up. Like this is just a bad editing.
Okay.
Like
Oh
Really?
man! Oh my goodness!
That is being picky, sir.
That is very picky,
That is
guys.
very, very
Are
picky.
you serious?
Can I just say I'm not involved in this
What?
Elder Scrolls thing. This is not
Are you
involving
guys
me.
serious?
I don't like that game, and it's just like, to me, there's no reason to put that there.
But there's other people who like it, though.
I
you know,
understand
who-
that, but there's no reason to put that there. Like what? Look at that. Like in-depth introductory video. Like like, why are they introducing this game when it's been on Stadia for how long now?
Oh my goodness. Okay, Ben. The Monkey Ben, man. Yeah, this is like straight.
Monkey
picking.
brought it up, and so I had
This is straight
to
picking,
dive in a little
guys.
more. Everything
Oh,
else is like
man.
fine, but like there's
I
it's
would
like they
say,
were-
if anything, this should be. Oh, this doesn't look good. If you're talking about looks, but
Yeah.
this is alright. You know, I don't know. I think it's just being.
like
All right, you all please show me your
that graphic should have been a
Guys.
that graphic should have been
Oh, man.
the Ubisoft dance one or whatever, because they were talking about that, and that's a bigger game right now. Like that just came out. Like that should be the graphic there, not Elder Scrolls.
Man, okay. Let's move to let's move to anniversary talk. Gonna open this up.
Ace.
2 years. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I was talking on mute while Duncan was talking, and then I realized I was on mute. I have a comment here about what's the name of the publisher again that made Wavetale?
Thunderful.
Thunderful.
Uh-huh.
A quick reminder, everybody, that the publisher have been announced that it was working with a game for Stadia last year, I want to say, or maybe through 2019.
December last year. It was just before the Fun Games.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And that's probably it. That the game that they were working, that was before the February 1st. They went down, and at the time it was probably an exclusive, and after the winding down, they had a new agreement, probably saying, all right, continue developing the game. It's going to be first on Stadia, and then you will be able to sell it whatever you want to publish it. There's another publisher that makes horror games that was announced at the same December. Does anybody remember the name of the developer?
There's also Harmonic. I can't say it. The music.
Oh, Harmonica.
Harmonix.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's that
Harmonix,
one.
yeah.
It's the guys.
There's Harmonix, but there's another one that makes horror games.
It's that horror game. It's just came out as well. I can see it. It's like the story-based one, or sorry, not the story-based one. That's the one which is going through like in chapters.
Yeah, but bottom line that I'm trying to get is you can expect those games also to be coming to Stadia on Stadia first.
Yeah.
Because it was contracts that were signed a long time ago.
Exactly.
And believe me, guys, games take a long to be developed.
Yeah.
If it's indie titles, they take a little less, like 2 years. But if you were talking about AAAs, or we're talking about 4 years, and Stadia has been around, is going to be around for 2 years next week. So, just because the game came now, it doesn't mean that the game was in production just right now. Contracts have been signed before, and contracts are just being honored that those games are coming.
Yeah.
The game looks good. Indeed, it's a great game, great developer. And I don't know why, or maybe I do know why they're pushing. Yeah, if you don't want to get in on Stadia, we understand, and that's why please remember that this game is going to be available in other platforms next year.
Yeah. So yeah, I have some thoughts on that. Why they probably pushing. You're seeing most like Get Packed and all those other games, Crata, right? Just once they got freed, you know, they were like, all right, we're launching this. I don't know. I don't know if Google Stadia makes them money, unless Google paid them, you know, to bring the game there. Then they probably can make money elsewhere. So they just letting people know if you don't buy it in Stadia, hey, like it's coming elsewhere.
Maybe they feel like prisoners.
Go ahead.
And I said maybe they feel like prisoners.
Yeah.
And they're just excited for that freedom date.
Breakthrough, right? Anywho, let's speculate again. Just gonna open this up next week, second anniversary. Just what are you guys hoping to see, and what do you think we'll see? Just gonna open that up for discussion. Anyone hop on?
What I want to see, a big, massive, AAA exclusive game, cloud game coming to Stadia, Google the head of Google comes out as I can't say his name. I can't say my own name for flip's sake. Never mind.
Yeah.
He comes out, makes a statement, basically like the guy over at Microsoft, Stadia, Nadella. We're all in gaming. Here's our first step. Here's our AAA game. We are going to be pushing this, that, and everything. We are all in. Or YouTube is jumping in. This is what I want to happen. What do I think is going to happen? We're going to get a 2-year anniversary sale, and we may get. This is what we've done this year on Stadia. During our second year, this is what has happened, and we'll maybe get a blog post in regards to that. So I think there seems to be expectations seem to be rising out there. I would really temper them. And that something big's going to happen. I just think it's going to be very muted. Even my low expectations, I would love to just see some big games announced for next year, just to get people excited. Something out there just to hopefully get people infused about the platform.
Okay.
I'd like to see Phil Harrison prove that he still works with Stadia. Like, I have no faith that he's still with them. Like, other than SG&E, that was the last time we heard from him.
There's going to be that blog post, not a choose blog post, but I think it's a Stadia save point or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think we're going to be hearing from Phil Harrison there.
Because before SG&E, the last time we heard from him was August of last year. So he's been very, very quiet for over a year.
When all of this, I agree. It would be nice
and
to hear.
That's not good on a new company. He should be out there like pushing it.
Yeah, he was when Stadia was launching, but then
no, he wasn't.
2019 at GDC, like that was the last. That was the big push.
No, I don't know if you guys remember, but like during the launch, he went on. He did like several shows where
before launch.
Yeah,
yes, before launch. It was like November of 2019.
Yeah.
Comes launch, I think we saw him on the Ubisoft Forward, and then that's
I think he did a Connect. Was he? I think he showed his head on a Connect, and then that was it. But anyone else? Speculation. Second year. What do you think we'll see? And
when does Battlefield fully release?
It's just stop. That's not happening.
That's hilarious.
I'm gonna laugh so hard.
I don't think you see anything, to be honest with you. I mean, they've already timed their bi-weekly blog post to not land on the 2 years, so there's no blog.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have timed that if they wanted to start it to where the 2 week ended up on their 2 year and, done something big at least for that. Now they have to have an extra blog post, which people will still complain about because they're not going with their 2 week plan. Or it doesn't matter what they do at this point. It's gonna be wrong. I'll complain. I'm like, no, it's supposed to be every 2 weeks. Don't give me one next week. So who knows? But I think you'll see, I think it was Duncan or someone said maybe they'll look back and kind of recap what Stadia did for 2 years. But I don't care about that. I want to see a roadmap of the future, which I don't think they have. So that's, I don't think we see a lot. It might be like a celebration of what Stadia did, with some high points and stuff. But I don't think you'll see any game announcements, anything major. You might not see a blog post because technically you shouldn't get one.
Okay. Game announcement, I don't want to call it that, but I think we're gonna see another shadow drop on Pro. Yeah. We had a few big shadow drops like
Mafia.
No, I don't call it big. I call it what's the Star Wars game again?
Jedi
Fallen Order. That was I call it big shadow drop.
That was a big one.
Well done, yes, you got it right this time.
Yeah, I know, right?
After like 2 years,
guys, been practicing. Yeah.
But if you're gonna drop a game for your 2 year, right, Eddie, then like something like Star Wars Jedi Fallen, something like a big game. I don't want to see a stealth drop like even the GTA thing. No, if you're gonna put something out, it needs to be big.
Yeah, but that's the problem that we have right now. Either it's gonna be a game that's already available on the platform that is becoming all right. This game is on Pro for you. Or I don't see a big game, like brand new big game coming to Stadia and dropping on Pro.
So the question you have to ask is, what was recently announced that we found a leakage of coming to the plot? Because like you guys were saying, what Stadia is doing right now is they just releasing everything that we knew that was coming to the platform. These games that they said, they're working on, Mafia, Ark, they're just releasing those games. So you got to go back and look what's a game that was rumored, maybe Mafia 1, right? Definitive edition, right?
Mafia 1 was not. Mafia
It
2
was not.
Mafia 2, it was only 2 and 3 which
Okay.
were official. Yeah, it's bonkers, but that was, it was only Mafia 2 and Mafia 3 which were announced.
Right. Monster Hunter was when the Capcom leaked, Monster Hunter was the game. So games like that, I wouldn't be surprised if they do drop.
Once something that is not a game and that's likely to happen, I don't know if you guys saw that recently there was a stream on YouTube directly from Stadia at 1440p.
Yeah, we saw that.
I tested it tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know if that could be a cool thing to be adding.
Yeah.
You get a 1080p for free today. Maybe you get a 1440p for free instead of 1080. That is a nice improvement, but I'm not sure if that's something.
Yeah. So Eddie, that's a good point. I asked this question. Chief is supposed to be away enjoying himself this weekend, but he keeps popping in the Discord chat.
He does.
So I quickly tested it, done a direct stream. Now, because I have Pro, I can game in 4K, 1440p. What we don't know just now is that direct streaming 1440 locked behind Pro, or can I do that from the free tier?
Create a fake account, man. Test it on the fake account. See if you get that 1440p too.
Yeah, well,
I can test it out right now on the account because I don't have Pro. I can just log in.
Yeah, there you go. Anywho, for time's sake, we're actually over time. Anyone else for 2-year speculation before we wrap it up? Cool. All right. So we had 2 other platforms that we did want to cover. So I'm just going to quickly give you guys an update. So again, we've tested Shadow on the recent release games like Forza Horizon 5 and Battlefield. And if you guys have Shadow, just to let you guys know, Shadow's been holding up, man. It's been running those games. I mean, it's not ultra settings, but good enough for you to have like a decent playable experience. So if you have Shadow and you're thinking, man, I want to play Battlefield or New World or whatever the game might be, just know that you can. And again, it's not ultra settings, but good enough to have a decent experience. And Amazon Luna released one game, which is a Chef World or whatever that game is. Epic Chef, right? The game actually looks okay, but I'm not going to touch it. Yeah, so go check that out if you're interested in. But that's the news for cloud gaming this week. I don't know what's going to happen next week, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot to cover with the Stadia second year and Microsoft 20th anniversary. So we'll be back here same time next week, so check in with that. But I just want to give members a chance to plug the channel, let you guys know what they do and where you can find them. So to get started, Ben, what do you do, sir? Where can people find you?
I am currently focusing on streaming on Twitch these days, Cloud Trippin' Entertainment. Check me out over there. Other than that, I'll post something on YouTube once in a while, TikTok, things like that. So
cool. Good to have you on, Ben, for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. Duncan, what do you do? Where can people find you?
I'm a bit busy at the moment doing things, but you can find us over Cloudy with Games, and yeah, people may find out what I've been up to the next time I'm on here in 2 weeks' time.
Ooh, love it. How about you, Gamer TV? What do you do? Where can people find you, sir?
You can basically find me on Twitter, inciting riots. GMRTV Plus. That's about it for now. YouTube,
Good to have you, my dude. Good to have you for sure. How about you, Eddie? Eddie Play One. What do you do? Where can people find you, sir?
So people can find me on Twitch as well. On Twitter, Eddie Player One. On TikTok, where I post a GFN Thursday, under 60 seconds every Thursday. And on YouTube's when I do the short videos as well, Jeff and Thursday, I do sometimes gameplays at weekday nights, and a new series that I'm posting videos weekly, which it's 3 weeks later right now, but it's going to be back a weekly. Me sharing a little bit of my journey. I started a new job as a product manager at Ubisoft, and I'm sharing a little bit on how is the experience and how is the life on studio and etc.
Cool. That's gonna be fun to watch, man, for sure. Eddie, as always, man, great to have you here.
Thanks for the invite, man. I always appreciate the invite, and whenever I can, I come.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. GTP, sir, what do you do? Where can people find you?
Yeah, quickly, first of all, addicted. Like, I'll be on Eddie's weekly update every single week for his job. When I saw he was going to start that and do it for a year, I'm like, I will see all 52 episodes as they come out because I'm so interested. So I'm so glad you're doing that. It's so awesome. But I also knew you were going to move it to Mondays because it's too hard to put that together on a Friday after working all week. So, but anyways, yeah, Game Tech Planet pretty much everywhere. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, whatever. And yeah, pretty much just test out as many games as I can and as many places as I can so that you know how they run and you know where you want to play them.
Cool. Always good to have you back this week, sir. It's always
Thank you.
Love your input in the panel, man. Good stuff overall. Monkey, do you have anything you want to plug?
God, no. Bright Memory coming out. Hopefully Ace remembers.
Truth, yeah.
Recap tomorrow.
Yeah.
And yeah, just thank you everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for joining every week. It's great. And yeah, Eddie, keep us, never mind the weekly blog. I want a daily vlog of all the Ubisoft secrets.
Gonna
There's a lot of NDAs, and then daily vlogs doesn't change much because I'm working from home. Working from home, things doesn't change much.
True.
Congratulations again on the job, though, my man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, good stuff overall. Yeah. So again, there's something I want to say, but I can't remember. Oh yeah, Chief. It's his birthday. I know he's gonna kill me for this, but wish him happy birthday when you see him. That's why he's not here.
Happy 60th, Chief.
Happy 11st birthday, Chief.
But yeah, appreciate you guys. Again, the links for all the panel members are going to be in the description. So go show them some love, some support. Great guys here. And we'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.